Story time.
Story time about how I found out my ex-boyfriend was gay while we were in a relationship. So like imagine being in love with a guy that's in love with a guy. I always kind of had my doubts, and like other people would kind of say like, you sure he not gay? So he would always like literally always go with his friends, and they would just like do anything. He would always be with them, and I would be like, can I have some of your time? It was so bad. Like, can I have some of your time too? It got to the point where I felt like he was cheating, but he was cheating with another woman and just saying like he was going with his friends. But no, he would say stuff like, I'm done with him. And y'all, it was so bad. I don't know how I didn't see it. It was so bad. They would even have arguments and he would be like, I'm not talking to him no more. Like, imagine your boyfriend saying stuff like, I'm not gonna talk to him no more. Like, he's selfish. He just...
Happy Wednesday, OTG, and welcome back to another video by me, Letitia Marie. It is November the 13th. It is a Wednesday, and I know it's not Tuesday. I know usually Tuesday with Tish, but I've been rebranding, figuring out how I want this channel to go and things like that. So I know a couple of you guys are probably like, girl, where the makeup tutorials come from? I did say in the beginning, I am going to branch out into other niches and trying other things because I don't feel like I have to focus on one thing specifically. So I did do some makeup stuff, and then I kind of forgot about 35 to 30% of the people that watch my videos are actually men. And I'm like, y'all don't want to watch how to put on lip gloss. So I am so sorry. I'm going to be definitely uploading videos for hopefully 30 days straight. That is my goal. 30 days straight of some tea stuff with me. Now I might be mixing up a little bit of vlogs and stuff here and there, but you will get some consistent days of some tea time with me. Now the tea time that I'm going to be doing is going to be some of my stories mixed in with other stories as well. So today's story, by looking at the title, we're talking about people on the down low. Yes, guys. Now I've had my own personal encounters with people. I've never been in full committed relationships with them and had my heart broken in those situations. And guys, we're talking about like rough men. Like, I'm talking drug dealers and stuff like that. I've encountered men while I was doing my little side stuff that were married, and they're talking about how they used to do stuff with like their cousins who were males, and now they're not sure if they're gay and stuff like that. And I'm pretty sure Saucy Santana was talking about the same thing with his family as well. This is very prominent in today's world. We see a lot of stuff like that. I'm not justifying being on the down low or anything like that. A lot of things happen psychologically to men, especially when they're younger, and it makes them think that they're gay now, or they're not sure, or they try to blame women, which I'm going to insert a clip.
So yeah, it's the real. A lot of men are on the DL, down low, doing a lot of behind people's back and not being honest about it. A big reason is because they're not given a safe space to be who they are. And what I mean by that is this: when you got a woman who will let you know she's been with the woman before, or you know, she's into women every now and again, they not judged like that. It's looked at in society, it's like, it's cool, it's accepted. You know what I mean? They could sit there and tell you, I'm not gay, I'm not a lesbian, I just, you know, like to mess around with women every now and again. Or I had an experience in college, or I had an experience when I was younger, whatever. And it's accepted. When a man say that, he gay, he got a disease, he this, he that, he can never just have that safe space to be like, well, you know, I had an experience with a transgender, or I had an experience with a man, and, you know, it was this, and I'm not gay. It's not something that, you know, I like to do all the time, or want to be with the man, anything like that. And I wonder why. I want to know why is it a double standard like that? And ladies, y'all answer me. Why is it a double standard? Because I seen a clip of a pastor, and he was like, would you date a man who had a gay experience or something like that? And they all was like, nah. It was like, you know what I'm saying, really met with some real like negative thoughts, you know what I'm saying? So my thing is this: if it's accepted for women, why are y'all not giving men a safe space for them to express their sexuality or something that they may try or want to try or whatever? You know what I'm saying? That's a big reason why. Now you got some men that just lie, and that's just what it is. They lie. They're going to cheat with you with a girl. They're going to cheat with you, got whatever. But I'm talking about, you know, just giving a safe space to people to be who they want to be. You know what I mean? And to be free. I think a lot of that would stop if that was to happen. A lot of, you know, behind closed doors and would stop if men were given a safe space to say what they like and be who they are.
It's a choice at the end of the day. You're choosing to act and be that way. Okay. Now, in saying that, my Bible does tell me a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. And if you don't know what a double-minded man is, it's a person that lacks stability and is very inconsistent with the way that he thinks, speaks, believes, his actions is all that type of stuff there, okay? That is a double-minded man, okay? And my Lord says they're unstable all the way. So if he was unstable, stay far away from me. So this quick little story is about this time I was talking to a guy that lives in another city, okay? Again, we're talking about drug dealer, well-known person. I'm not gonna say his name because Toronto's small, and I mean, no offense, sir. Like, girls be having their suspicions about this one, but y'all didn't hear that from me. Anywho, I go to his house. He's sharing a place with somebody else. Cool. So he tried to be quiet. This man's gonna ask me to stick the fingers in his booty hole, and I said, "Are you sure you want me to do that? Like, why? Are you sure? Because as a woman, I don't even want people doing that to me. So as a man, you want me to do that to you?" And like, it was just really weird for me. I'm like, I don't know about that. And that was not the first time he asked. Another time he asked, do I want to do a rim job? Now, if you don't know what that means, please go Google it. I'm not going to say it on here because I don't want anything touched on my channel. And I don't want anyone to look at me like I'm crazy. So just Google it, please, and thank you. And I did not do it. I didn't do it. I'm not participating in that type of stuff. Because soul ties are also a real thing. And if y'all don't know what a soul tie is, watch this next clip.
Basically, you know, a mixed spirit together. Y'all are... Sex causes a lot of connection, if you never believe. Just look at it this way. Sometimes somebody left and you just feel like them have a hold on you. It's soul tie and it's real. And I feel like that's why, because a lot of people these days are in toxic relationships and them can't let go of them ex or them can't let go of the person, because it's soul ties.
You guys want to wonder why you act a certain way or why you have an attachment to someone that you were unsure of. It's because you have a soul tie. And if you guys don't believe in them, I don't know what to tell you, because if you were not acting that way before and you're acting like that now, you gotta pray about it. I don't know, cast out them things, because them things will haunt you. Another time when I was doing my side stuff, I did encounter a male, and he was married with children, okay? And he was talking to me about a situation that happened with his cousin when he was a kid, and how his cousin used to sleep with him and whatnot and whatever. Very similar to like the Saucy Santana story. Now, in saying that, now that he's older and he's married with a woman, he still has an interest in being with men as well, and he doesn't want to tell his wife, and he doesn't feel comfortable telling her either. But if you're stepping out your marriage with her man, does that not make you feel uncomfortable to know that you are lying to her? And I don't want anyone to think that this is just subject to people that live in the world, because church folks be doing it too. There was a story about a pastor, or not a pastor, I think he was like a minister, and he would help one of the boys in the church study, and eventually started like kissing the little boy and doing oral things with him, and the little boy ran back to his parents asking, "Am I gay?" Y'all, this stuff is happening and it's very prominent, okay? So these next few clips I am gonna play is similar to the stories like mine. Again, I was not in a relationship for me to be hurt like this, but a lot of these women, unfortunately, were married in relationships, had kids with these people, and then they're coming out later on, or they're lying about it, and people are finding it on their phones. So I'm gonna play all these little clips of people sharing their stories, and y'all get your tea ready, have your popcorn ready to go, because we got a long way to go. There is a lot of tea in this, baby.
I was back and forth with myself for a while as to whether or not I should post this story. There's a lot of stigma. I know there's going to be a lot of backlash with this, but I'll still read it because it's a story that deserves to be heard. So the sister who sent this in, we're going to call her Aisha. Aisha, when she was 28, she recently went through a divorce with her now ex-husband, and we'll call him Ali. So Aisha met Ali when she had graduated university, and she was working full-time as a nurse in the hospital. At the time, Ali was 25 and Aisha was 24, and he came in one day basically for an appointment with his mom, and she had like recently undergone surgery, so she was there for a follow-up and he was there with her. And the mother of Ali recognized Aisha because their moms were really close friends and they were like family friends somehow. So Aisha like assisted them throughout the appointment, of course, and they exchanged like, you know, words. They just said, "Hey, hello, like I know you, da 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 da." So they exchanged their small chat, and Aisha went home from her shift and like she didn't think anything of it. But a week later, Aisha basically went back home after one of her shifts, and she sees the auntie and Ali in her living room. So Aisha basically sees them talking to her parents, and she's like a little bit shook. She's like, what's going on? So they sit her down. They basically explain that Ali and his side of the family want to get to know Aisha, you know, as a potential marriage partner, and they want both of them to get to know one another. Ali was a handsome guy. He was a respectful guy, respectful family, great job. Like, he was it was a catch. He was a catch, and he was attracted to Aisha, and Aisha was attracted to him. So they exchanged numbers, they went on several dates, and they got to know each other better. And Ali shared his life goals with Aisha. He said, I have a desire to, you know, succeed in X, Y, and Z. I'm gonna start my business in X, Y, and Z. And he's just like, you know, telling her everything that he wants to do. He told her about his past, where he used to struggle with like substance abuse, and how he overcame it with the faith of Allah. He talked about, like, you know, his devotion to the masjids, and how he's a religiously devoted guy, his dedication to volunteering, sadaqah. Like, he literally gave her the entire blueprints of his life. So after a few months, Ali asked Aisha's dad for her hand in marriage, and she agrees. She's like, I really like this guy. So they have their nikah, and they move into a lovely apartment, and a year into their marriage they have a son. Aisha's ecstatic, Ali's ecstatic. After their son was born, that's when Aisha would start to notice that Ali began acting strange after this, and he would come home really late from work, and he would go into the other room and take like these whispered phone calls. Whenever she would ask him, like, who are you on the phone with, he would say, oh, it's the office, you know, they're always keeping me late, and when I come back they're still trying to call me and ask me for, like, you know, more tasks and stuff. And Aisha trusted him, she loved him, so she didn't think much of it. Thing would change when basically Aisha had this nagging, curious feeling in her heart that something was off, something was wrong. Ali comes home from work, and it's very late like usual, and it's like 1 or 2 a.m. So he immediately went to go to sleep on the couch, and when he went to sleep on the couch, his phone kept vibrating, like literally just kept on going off, vibrating. And never gone through his phone before, but this day she was super curious, so she picks up the phone and she saw that it was his friend calling. So she's like, oh, whatever. But then she kept on seeing like it keeps going ping, and there's a million text messages coming through. So she was like, okay, let me read all these text messages. So she unlocks the phone, and when she unlocks the phone, she would find something that would literally horrify her to her core. This day she is literally healing from this. Ends up the text message between him and his close friends, and she sees the most explicit, nasty messages being sent between them. Photos, videos, explicit messages, and she's shocked because this is his very close friends. And then she goes through more messages, and then she scrolls, and she's literally in a rabbit hole of him and all of the men that he claimed were his friends. He would bring these guys over saying, oh, we're gonna watch a game together, oh, we're gonna whatever together, and she would go out with her friends, and he would, like, you know, bring these friends over. She found videos of them on her own bed. Aisha was devastated. She wanted to scream and break things at that point, but she said, you know what, I have to keep it together. So she literally restrained herself, put on her clothes, took her son, and went to her mom's house. So Aisha's mom opens the door, and she's shocked. She sees her daughter literally bursting into tears. So she asks her, what's wrong? Aisha, tell me what's wrong. And Aisha couldn't tell her parents, obviously, what she would break their hearts because they loved Ali just as much as she did. So she kept her mouth silent. She said, oh, we just had a fight, and she went to sleep. The next morning, Ali is bombarding her phone with messages. Where are you? Why is your location off? Why did you just disappear with our son? What's going on? Aisha needed time to like decompress and calm down. That same evening, she basically left her child with her parents. She went back home to confront Ali. Finds him on the couch, literally just chilling, watching some TV. And she turns off the TV. Oh my god, guys. So when she asks him, like, why did you do what you did, he literally pretends to be ignorant, and she confronts him and she says, like, no, why would you marry me if you're gay? Like, why would you marry me if you don't even like women? And his reaction was explosive. He literally yells at her, accusing her of invading his privacy, and he said, like, this is all a misunderstanding. Then he takes 2 seconds, he changes the story, and then he says, oh, it was a dare. Despite all of this that he's saying, Aisha demanded a divorce, and she said, I need full custody of my son, okay? And he said, no, like, I'm not giving you full custody of our son. She's like, well, I'm gonna tell everybody. I'm gonna tell your family, I'm gonna tell my family, I'm gonna tell everybody who knows you that you are down low, but you married me. And obviously he doesn't want that to happen, so he said, you know what, I will give you your divorce, and I will give you full custody of our son. So Aisha told everybody, no, we just, you know, we weren't a good fit anymore, you know, we weren't, you know, compatible anymore, so that's why we're going through a divorce. She actually kept her end of the promise, and she did keep his secret. During that time, Aisha literally found strength in her connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and she believes that her test was marrying this man. Found out that he's remarrying a woman. Another woman. He's remarrying another woman. She found out, she was heartbroken, but at the same time she made a promise to not tell anybody, so she just feels so heartbroken for this new woman. She wrote that many men may hide their true desires and it is crucial to stay safe and protect oneself, and I 100% agree, because this is absolute insanity.
Part 1 of how I found out my baby daddy was still. Okay, y'all, this is my first story time, so y'all gotta bear with me. Okay. So around this time, back in 2022, I think, I had allowed my baby daddy to come stay with me. So, hold on, y'all. Y'all gotta work with me now. Okay, when he was staying with me, I guess one night he went out, then he came back. He was like, his phone dropped off the car and he couldn't find it. And he was like mad and shit like that. I'm like, just chill, like, you can hold my son's phone so you can get you another phone. So I ended up letting him hold my son's phone or whatnot. And I ain't gonna lie, the same night that he had got the phone logged in and this and that, I had already had it in my head that I was gonna go through it, like, because I'm nosy. So I waited till he went to sleep, got the phone, and I was going through it. But I know my homegirl, like, she's real good when it comes down to going through a nigga phone. So I'm like, girl, I got the phone, pull up. She done pulled up, we going through it, this and that. So I had done seen him, he text a gay guy, but the message, it was unsent. So it was an unsent message to the gay guy, and it was the gay guy sending like the eyes emoji, and that's all I seen. That was it. So then he had 2 different like gay men blocked. So I seen that, and I went back to the house and I woke him up and I'm like, you gay, like, you're gay. So he waking up looking confused. He like, what are you talking about? I said, I went through the phone, and why is you texting a punk? Like, and why do you have all these punks blocked? He was like, man, he got so mad, y'all. He was like talking real loud. He was like, man, these punks, if a punk trying to add me or follow me, this and that, of course I'm gonna block them. Da 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 da. Lies, y'all. That was red flag right there. I should have walked away right then and there, or whatever. So he going back and forth, me and him going back and forth, and me being naive, y'all, I still let him stay with me or whatever. Okay, so I think this was like June 2022 or whatever. So let's fast forward to July. July come around. Like, I was just so fed up with him because he wasn't helping me. He was eating all the groceries, wasn't providing nothing, like doing nothing for my son. Always gone. So I was just like over it at this point. So I was waiting for him to come home or whatever, but like 3 came around. I'm like, I'm tired, I'm finna go to sleep. I just sent him a text or whatever. So I sent him a text, like basically give him the rundown, like, you need to step up. Like, you're gonna have to either help me or you're gonna either have to leave. So after that, I went to sleep. I woke up, he was on the couch, and yeah, I went to go run my errands, came back, he was still asleep. So I ended up having to leave again. So I left again, came back, he was up and moving. So I'm like, I'm looking at him, I'm like, you got my text? Like that. So he was like, yeah, I got it. So I'm like, what you gonna do? He's talking about, I'ma leave. Girl, y'all, why he said that? Because that just pissed me off, because he been staying with me and he helped me with nothing. Then when I like, yeah, you gonna rather leave than help? So that just pissed me off. So I was like, leave, like, you gonna have to leave now. Like, yeah, you gonna have to leave now. So he was like, you wanna help me? You can start putting stuff on the porch. So I done start putting stuff on the porch. So I'm like, and my son's phone, I need it. So he went to say, nah, you ain't getting it, bitch. Da, 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 da. I ain't getting nothing. So he went downstairs. So I'm thinking he leaving because he was walking down to the car. I was like, come get this shit. Don't leave this shit on the porch. So he come back with a pad. And if you know, I don't want TikTok to be in this video. But
he put the pad on the deep freezer. So I grab it because it's like, you're not trying to give me my son's phone. You're not gonna get this. I grab it, put it up. So after that, he like I think he had done. I locked him out after that, I think. So he was just knocking, like telling me that he needed his pad. So I don't know. I just felt like he was about to, cause I stayed upstairs at the time or whatever. So I just knew he was gonna. I don't know, but I kind of felt it when he stopped knocking that he was gonna do something crazy. But I just didn't know what he was gonna do. So y'all, remind you, I stay upstairs. I have a balcony, and when I tell y'all, it's no light poles, no like nothing he can like grab on to get on top of the balcony. So I'm not thinking that he's finna jump on top of the balcony. Next thing you know, y'all, I hear thump. So I already knew he had done jumped on top of the balcony. The door. Then I forgot to lock the door, y'all. So I ran into my room and locked the door. So at this point, from my room, you could talk to somebody through like the balcony, like if I open a window. So I open a window. I'm like, all you gotta do is give me my son phone. You doing too much. So after that, and around this time, before I left, I put the phone up because I didn't want to walk out and he tried to grab it from me. So I had the phone up in the house. So fast forward, I got back home and his stuff was off the porch. So someone just told me to look out my window. I look out my window. He got like his clothes and stuff like stashed down stairs or whatever. So after that, I'm going through the phone or whatever, and I see messages of this same punk that he had blocked. Remember I told y'all in the beginning he had this punk blocked on Instagram and what's name, but he had a different page. This is a page that I wasn't logged into because remember I told y'all the whole time he was there. I had his information or whatever, but it was another account. So I seen messages between him and the gay boy.
Please ignore the fact that my outfit is now different. It's because I was editing my video and then I completely forgot to add this part in. Guys, I remember when I was working at a mall, this would have been when I was about 22 years old. We used to have a guy come in and visit us all the time. He worked in a department store in the mall we were working in, right? So since we're on the topic of being on down low, he was not down low. He was out. He was gay. So when he was working in this department store, there was a Jamaican guy that worked there. And one time they were changing the signage. One of the times they're there kikiing and cuddling up and doing all type of stuff. The Jamaican man ends up allowing him to on him, okay? And then all of a sudden, the Jamaican man wants to fight him because he's like, oh, so does that mean that you're gay now? The Jamaican man went to turn around and go fight him and said, don't call him that, and all type of stuff. You gotta be careful out here because you see, you think your man's at work doing his job, and really he's out here getting all type of stuff done to him by random people in the store. Y'all didn't get that from me, though. Continuing on.
Story time on how me and this dude got caught up by his baby mama. One day I show up to his job. I don't even know but it worked there. He recognized me like, hey Vic, what's up, what's up, what's up? Boy, I've been seeing your videos, that type thing, you know, about me on that type tip. So he asked for my number, I give it to him. So I'm thinking that's it. He texted me, you know, he texted me a lot. And I'm like, oh, he must like me. But we did used to mess with each other back in the day. I always had a crush on him, like, but basically I was his experiment. He ended up deciding he wanted like girls more. Like one day he just told me, yeah, we just gonna be cool. I like girls more and I ain't seen him since then. So fast forward to now, after I got his number from his job, we texting. I'm kind of following up on him. And by the way, y'all, I will mention this in the story. I text like a girl, like OMG, all that type of stuff. So my phone ringing one night, ringing, call. So I see his number is him. I pick it up, don't say nothing, hang up. So I call it back like, hey bro, you good? And then hang up again. Then I get a text message, pull up. I'm like, okay, his baby mom must be asleep. So I pull up, y'all, why it ain't him? It's her. She thought I was a girl because she thought basically he said my number is a girl number and you'll never believe what she did when I pulled up. Y'all, this crazy.
Hey y'all, so today I'm going to be telling y'all the story about how I found out my ex-boyfriend was DL. Yes, a bottom boy. Now, I'm going to start off by saying that this was my first boyfriend because it's a lot of points that y'all going to be like, how the fuck? How you didn't know? So for the sake of the story, we're going to call my ex Speedy. Now, when me and Speedy first started dating, he was really sweet. Like, very sweet, y'all. And he's a Leo, so I love that he was always very demanding. He was very assertive in everything that he did. And that's one big thing that attracted me to Speedy. But girl, Speedy was a little sassy at times. And I used to overlook it because, number one, this was my very first boyfriend, so I didn't know that, you know, certain shit that he was doing, no man ain't supposed to be doing. When me and Speedy first started dating, I knew right away Speedy had a problem. See, Speedy's problem was his ass was always cheating and getting caught. I kid y'all not. The first month of us dating, Speedy got caught cheating. And I should have known then to run for the goddamn hills. But no, I was young and dumb, and I just thought I was going to see my way through it. Now, I don't know about y'all, but me, I'm going to go through that phone. Yes, go through that phone each and every time. So ladies, pick up your man's phone. Don't listen to what the hell people be saying. Pick up that phone and go through it. So the first time I caught Speedy cheating was with a girl that I actually known. We were, I'm not going to say in the same friend group, but my friend was her friend. So we were kind of in the same circle, if that makes sense. But we wasn't friends. So when Speedy would get caught cheating, Speedy did what any man do. Cry. Okay. So I should have known to run for the goddamn hills, like I said. But I didn't, because again, I was young and dumb, and I love Speedy. Well, on my heart, he was sweet. He used to give me money, pay for my nails, pay for my toes. Speedy was my damn man, and I was going to stick beside my man, okay? So I do have to add in the time that I started dating Speedy, I was very much a virgin. Like, virgin, get married, okay? Keep that in mind. So after 6 months of dating Speedy, I finally decided that it's time to get that bag broke. Yeah. So I come to Speedy one day and I tell him, like, look, babe, it's time. I'm ready. I'm not scared no more, because Speedy never pressured me into having sex with him. So I always thought, like, my man loved me. I don't care what nobody said. My man loved me. My man is waiting on me. My man was indeed not waiting on me. Not waiting at all. So when I let Speedy know that I was ready to get that back broke, Speedy wasted no time making arrangements. No time at all. So Speedy gets us a hotel, right? For us to do the do. Now this is really important, because what Speedy does, I should have known. So it's the night of the hotel. We've been talking about it the whole week, about what I'm going to do, what he going to do, how we going to do it. And baby, I'm excited. I'm excited. And I'm ready. So I thought. So the time is here. We being spicy or whatever, you know, get into it. I don't really know what I'm doing, but, you know, I'm letting Speedy walk me through it. In the middle of us being spicy, Speedy asked me to grab his ass because it can help him get to the finish line. Y'all, I should have known right there that Speedy was going to have me in for a goddamn ride. But no, I love my man. I'm sticking behind my man. And I don't give a damn what nobody think. It's my man. Yeah. So the morning after of us doing what we do, Speedy get a call from his homeboy, Joy. Baby, I don't know what Joy told Speedy, but Speedy got out of that damn hotel room so goddamn fast, I didn't even get time to blink. But y'all keep Joy in mind, because Joy is a very important factor in this story. Now, I do want to say that I had never met Joy before, right? But Joy was somehow always around. Him and Speedy will always talk. They will always be on the phone. But whenever they were on the phone, Speedy was never too close to me till I can hear their conversation. So 2 weeks after doing a dude with Speedy for the first time, Speedy gets caught cheating again, like always. Now, every time I went through Speedy's phone, I always went through his iMessages. I never went through his social media. And I should have. So ladies, when you go through that phone, do a thorough check. Go through freaking Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, pictures, all that. Go through everything. Don't be like me. So yeah, if I would have checked this phone properly how I was supposed to, it would have saved me for a lot that was in store, because it's way more to come. So yeah, I wound up taking my man back after he got the crying, telling me how I'm the love of his life. He don't know nobody but me. He just be messing up sometimes. All a lie. So this is maybe about 3 days after he had got caught cheating again. I had a doctor's appointment coming up to get on birth control because a young term bitch was not trying to have no kids, especially by speeding. So y'all, I get to my doctor's appointment and I'm telling my doctor that might have been a little weird. I don't know, she wasn't how she normally be. So let's go ahead and check that out. Please and thank you. Thank you very much. So, you know, they get the running test or whatever. I'm just telling him all my symptoms. Y'all, when that doctor came back in that room, I was not prepared at all for what was about to fall out his goddamn mouth. If you haven't already put it together, yes, Speedy did give me a STD. Not one, but two. So y'all, I am literally like bawling my eyes out in a doctor's office. I was crying so hard I could barely fucking breathe. I kid y'all not. So I told y'all that, again, Speedy was my first. I had never had sex, never done anything sexually with a boy until him. So naturally, I call him. Like, bro, what the fuck? You literally gave me da-da-da-da. Do y'all know this man had the audacity to say, oh no, I ain't give you nothing. I don't got nothing. You must have had sex with somebody else. So y'all, when he says that, I am literally so pissed off at this point. Like, the tears had dried up. I'm not mad because what the hell do you mean I must have got it from somebody else? Nobody never touched Fat Mine. But you. So at this point, we're literally fussing while I'm in the doctor's office. And I am being so loud to the point where, like, I had to step outside because I'm like, who the fuck have you been sleeping with? So I named the girl that he was known for getting caught cheating with. We're going to name her Daisy. So I'm like, yeah, you must have got it from Daisy, nasty ass. Because she was known for sleeping around with any and everybody. So you definitely got it from her. He did not get it from Daisy. So y'all, I stopped talking to Speedy for maybe a week. And I know what you're thinking. A week? Girl, I would never speak to him ever again. Well, you're not me and I'm not you. Again, I told y'all I was young, dumb, and in love. This was literally my man, my first everything. So, yeah. So he comes back and he apologizes. And he's like, yeah, I don't know what happened. I didn't mean to do that. This, that, and the fifth. So we're back talking again. Worst fucking mistake of my life. I shouldn't have done that. So we're back talking. Everything's cool. Everything's great. For about 3 weeks. Then, once again, things hit the fan. Like always. Because it's always something with him. So y'all, he started acting strange. Like he always do. Going missing late at night. Not responding back. Then every time I ask him where he at, it's always, oh, I'm with Joy, I'm with Joy, I'm gonna call you back. We in the car, the music too loud, da 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 da. So I'm saying to myself, don't worry about it, because the moment I get around him, I'm going through that phone all over again, like I normally do. So we finally get around each other, and Speedy winds up taking a nap. So you know what I do? Go to my move and go ahead and go through that phone. I kid y'all not. I was not prepared at all for what was to come when I went through that damn phone. Child, I thought I was ready. I wasn't ready at all. I'm gonna make a part 3 because again, it's getting a little long. So hold on, y'all. So Speedy is asleep and I'm literally going through his phone. But I gotta be careful because Speedy is not a heavy sleeper at all. Any little sound or movement, he wakes up. So keep that in mind. So I take his phone and I go into the bathroom and lock the door. And I'm going through his messages. I'm not really seeing much in his messages. So something tells me, go ahead and check Instagram. Child, that Instagram, baby, that was like the golden pot to a leprechaun. It had everything that I needed in there. It was so many messages between like him and other people. But one particular message sticks out to me. So I did tell y'all that I had never met Joey ever. I had only heard about him. And I just heard that him and Speedy had been like best friends for a long time. They grew up together, this, that, and the fifth. But I had never physically seen Joey. I have heard him on the phone and like he'll speak to me like, oh, what's up, sis? This, that, and the fifth. But I had never physically seen him. So I had met all of Speedy other homeboys except Joey. I had never physically seen Joey before. I've only heard him on the phone, and if him and Speedy would be on the phone, Joey would speak to me like, hey sis, this and the fifth. But I had never physically laid my eyes on Joey. So while going through Speedy's phone, keep in mind I'm still in the bathroom, I see Joey's Instagram. So just being nosy, I click on it just to see what the hell do y'all even be talking about. As soon as I clicked on those messages, I just knew everything was about to go downhill. I'm thinking that I'm about to see messages of like them conversing about other girls. No. Now keep in mind, I had never seen Joy for real. So I go click on his Instagram and I click on his page. Y'all, Joy isn't a boy. Joy is a transgender. But not only is Joy a transgender, Joy is also Speedy's lover. They're in a Instagram messages conversing on how they're going to see each other, when is the next time they're going to meet up, how they had so much fun, how Joy can't wait to come over and do Speedy in a way that he likes. Huh? So y'all, instantly, once I get to reading how Joy can't wait to come back over, he can't wait to see Speedy, he like when Speedy did da-da-da, I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. At this point, y'all, Speedy had woken up and I didn't know that he was up yet. I literally jot out the restroom. Why is Speedy standing in the doorway? Speedy saw me with that phone. When I say he lost it, he literally lost it. He starts screaming. He's like, oh my God, bro, why do you have my phone? What are you doing with my phone? Why you always want to go through my shit? Y'all, the whole time that he's going off, I'm literally just standing there looking at him. Because I can't believe. You're gay? You're gay? So I start crying. And I'm telling Joy, like, take me home. Take me home right now. Take me home. I can't believe you. I keep saying, I can't believe you. I can't believe you. He like, I didn't do nothing. I haven't been talking to no bitches. Oh, you're right. You ain't been talking to no bitches. So I'm like, yeah, you haven't been talking to a bitch. You've been talking to a man. The hell? So y'all, when I say that, Speedy instantly freezes. He like, what? What are you talking about? I ain't been talking to no damn man. So y'all, I'm like, just take me home. Just take me home. Like, there's nothing to talk about. Just take me home. I want to go home. I don't want to be here no more. So when I say that, he instantly snatches his phone out my hand and he runs out the room and goes into the living room. So he's grabbing his keys. And I'm thinking to myself, like, this nigga is not about to leave me in this house by myself. No, you're about to bring me home. So he walks to the door and he's like, come on, you won't leave so bad. Come on. So I follow behind him because, yeah, bring me home. The whole ride to my house, he's being quiet, like nobody is saying nothing. You can hear goddamn ghost walk in the room, honestly. So in the midst of him bringing me home, he has the audacity to open his mouth and say, is there any way that we could talk about it? what is there to talk about? You're into men, my baby. What do we need to talk about? So I tell him, we'll talk when I'm ready. I'm not ready. So the next day, Speedy texts me like, hey, I want to pull up on you. We need to talk, this, that, and the fifth. So I'm like, what is there to talk about? Like, I literally seen everything that I needed to see. What do we need to talk for? So Speedy is like, I really need to see you. I really need to talk to you just to go ahead and clear the air because I think you're a bit confused. I'm not the confused one. You are, sir. What do you mean? So I agree. I'm like, yeah, we can talk, whatever. But something wound up happening to where I didn't meet up with Speedy that day. So, you know, I text him and I'm like, hey, I'm not going to be able to make it. I have stuff to do today, so I'll just catch up with you another time. So, y'all, we're going to say it's a week out now. Me and Speedy have not been talking. But I received a DM on a late Friday night. So I received this DM. And it was from a burn page. So I didn't know who it was at first. But the DM started out by saying, hey, sis, since the cat's out the bag, I think we need to discuss our man. So I text back like, who's this? But the page doesn't reply back with the message. Instead, they sent a video. And y'all, the video, if I was ever disgusted, I was disgusted. So the video is a video of Speedy and Joey getting a groove on. Instantly, I sent a video to Speedy because what's this about me being confused? Oh, okay. When I tell y'all Speedy blew up my phone, he blew up my phone. He was texting and calling. He kept asking, where did you get that from? Where did you get that from? I can explain. That's not me. What do you mean that's not you? I'm literally looking at your face. You in a video class day. So I finally pick up the phone for Speedy, and Speedy is crying. Like, he is boo-hooing. He's like, I can explain. You don't know the whole story. Just let me come see you so we can talk about it. So I agree because I need to hear, how the hell was you messing around with a boy and messing with me? So he pulls up and we're talking, and he starts off by saying that it's a lot that you don't know about me. Yeah, I know. Apparently. So he starts off by bringing up his childhood, how he had been molested as a child by his uncle, and that kind of transpired into him having a bit of a fetish for men, but he doesn't like men, only the ones that look like women, which is the transgender, of course. So yeah, I'm genuinely sitting there listening to him because I really need to know when, how, why, like, what is going on? So he tells me that him and Joey had met on a little a back page. Yeah, they weren't childhood friends like he had said. Him and Joey met on Backpage and had been conversing for some time now, and they had finally decided to meet up around the time that I decided to go ahead and give my virginity to him. He said that at first they were just talking. It wasn't nothing sexually, but, you know, those feelings and thoughts were there. So one night, he just decided to act on it. Now, Speedy tried to use that, oh, I had too many drinks type thing, and went saw him, and yeah, it just turned into us doing something. So he told me the first time that they had ever done something that he wasn't sure if he had liked it or not. So he didn't know how to feel on it. So he started messing with Daisy. So him and Daisy are messing around. Keep in mind, me and him are still messing around too. But he started cheating with Daisy, and Daisy obviously wasn't fulfilling his needs. So he decided to go ahead and text Joey. So he basically says somehow Joey just started to develop feelings for him, but he wasn't emotionally invested into Joey. because he had a girlfriend, which was me. But he did like doing things with Joey that he couldn't do with me, obviously. So I asked him, why did you lie? All the times that I had been around. Now keep in mind, me and Speedy were friends before we even started dating. You could have just said that. So I basically told Speedy, after he's done with his little talk and expressing everything that he had been through, like, you know what? It's cool, but like me and you, no. No. And he did admit that when I did catch what I caught from him, it wasn't from Daisy. It was actually from Joey. And once he found out that I had something, he immediately called Joey and told him, because he known that he had got it from Joey and not from Daisy, like I thought he did. So I instantly tell him, like, I don't even want to tell you that we can be friends, because it's no coming back from this. I don't have no trust towards you. I don't have no love for you. Like, we're through. And I would appreciate if you never speak to me ever again. So yeah, y'all, after our conversation, me and Speedy never talked no more. Like, from that day forward, I never talked to him ever again. I completely erased him out of my mind, and I started all over again. But moral of the story is, go through that phone. Don't be scared. And when you see the first signs, take heed to them, please. And to all my ladies, young ladies, girls, I don't care how much you may like a man, always, always use protection, please. And yeah, when your man tells you that he's always with his homeboy, just make sure he's not with his lover instead.
So story time one, I'm about to tell you about the time that my cousin told me that the guy that I was messing with was on the down low and he was him off. It gets crazy.
My husband is the bottom girl. I've been married for 5 years and we have 2 beautiful boys. From the outside, we are this perfect couple because my husband has always been a good partner and also a good mentor and father to our boys. Right from the beginning of our relationship, I've always known that I am more sexual than my husband because I've always been the one initiating make-out every time. And to me, that wasn't really a problem. In fact, he was very okay with me pleasing myself with toys whenever he's not in the mood for it. He even goes as far as getting toys for me just to make me feel okay. So I never for 1 second imagined that my husband doesn't enjoy sex with me. My husband travels a lot for work, and sometime last year I started paying more attention because he wasn't touching me anymore, just once in a while, and that made me feel he was seeing another woman. But I later discovered that my husband wasn't seeing another woman, but instead was seeing a man. I was so heartbroken, and it was at this point I began to join one and one together from the past, and so many things that happened back then made a whole lot of sense to me at this point. The sad part is that my husband is the bottom, and his close friend, whom our kids call uncle, is his boyfriend. Now, long story short, we had an extensive conversation about it, and I suggested we part ways amicably, but he begs that I don't mention it to his family or mine, and that we still stay married for the sake of our kids, and that we can have an open marriage where he doesn't mind me having boyfriends as long as we are still together raising our boys. Now, we've been in this situation since February this year, and I don't feel comfortable with this arrangement anymore. I feel my husband is using me as a front to cover for the lifestyle he's living, and I'm putting my life on pause for him. I spoke to him recently that I wasn't happy with the situation anymore and would prefer a divorce, but in his response, this man threatened me that he will take my kids away from me if I try to end the marriage. I've gotten to the point where I can no longer keep his secret. I'm considering telling our families about what's been happening because I believe they have every right to know about the actual cause of our to-be crashed marriage, especially given the impact this will have on our kids.
This message is for the men who are on the down low. You see, me I beg you, please stop use the people them girl pitney to cover up on a lifestyle. No, I definitely don't have a problem with men who are on the down low. I fear business that it's you choose that life, you want to do that life, that's fine. No hate game, nothing at all. But if you stop being selfish, stop being selfish and go in a relationship that you know say you don't love woman. You just want to use them for cover up on a lifestyle. People not say on the on the down low. Only if you stop it. If you want people to accept what your owner is, stop it and not use people because when you go out there and I get some disease and I get the poor woman them. The poor woman we know say no love woman. A man no love. And there's no problem if you love man. But just keep that to yourself. Nobody not go hate you, nobody not bash you. Me not support no hating towards no men who are under down low or anything like that. But please don't use the problem girl pitney. You know, so you know, like a man you love, go and go there with the man and don't start no relationship with a woman. Because that's very selfish of you. And that's where the problem comes in.
About 6 months into our marriage, I pulled up our computer one day and all of this pornography starts popping up, which the pornography didn't surprise me. He already told me he looked at pornography, but it was all men. There were no women in sight. And I was like, okay, this could be something. Most straight men don't look at gay pornography. There's some that do, but I was like, my husband's probably gay. I approached Steve at this point and I'm like, hey, are you gay? I found all this pornography and he just felt horrible. He was like, I'm so sorry, all these things. And I'm like, it's okay, but are you gay? And he's like, no, I'm not gay. And he now tells me, he's like, that was the first time I ever let myself think the words, I am gay.
Okay, so this is a tough one. I was married to my wife at the age of 21 years old and had been engaged to her for 2 years, and she didn't know a single thing about me being gay, as most did not. If not, I think there's maybe 2 people in the world who knew at that time. But I had gotten to a place after 3 weeks of being married where I so physically could not handle the need from her to be intimate or anything, that I knew very, very quickly that this was not a viable path for me. Was raised so Christian and conservative that her and I had never had sex. We barely kissed before we got married. It was easy for me to hide all of that and like my lack of intimacy through my religious excuses for wanting to be pure. Meanwhile, the whole time I absolutely knew I was gay and attracted to men. So after 3 weeks of being married, I went to a coffee shop and wrote down everything I could about how I wanted to speak to her and like what I thought was important to tell her, knowing that there wasn't anything I could say that would in any way make this an okay situation. Meanwhile, at the time I was living in this state of like pure trauma and fight or flight. So she came home from work. I was off that day, so I was sitting there on the couch waiting for her and sweating and completely broken. Sat her down, talked to her, told her everything I could, and at one point I just looked her in the eyes and I said, I'm gay, and that's not going to change. It took her a long time to sort of like catch up and realize I had known this about myself for a really long time. But eventually we got to a place in that conversation where she realized I was not backing down. It took another like 2 weeks to actually get some space between us and for us to separate physically, move out. So I did that, and it took us months afterwards to finally finalize the divorce. But this is some really, really heavy stuff, and I think a lot of you, at least from the comments I've gotten on other videos, know exactly what I'm talking about and have been through this similar thing. But at the time, it was incredibly lonely, and I don't wish that sort of pain on anyone. Gay, straight, whatever. Being in a relationship that you know isn't right is torture. So yeah, there's a lot to talk about and unpack there, but at the end of the day, I know I made the right choice, and I'm incredibly happy, and her and I have healed. So now it's a matter of continuing to just let that be.
Story time. So this is kind of a continuation of my last story time about the boy I had to put out of my car and beat him up for his baby mama. So y'all, that wasn't the last time that we linked up.
Some red flags to notice if you're not sure if your man's on the down low or not, and if you don't want to be the type to go through his phone, specific male friend very often, because men have friends, yes, that are males, but when they're attached to one specific man and the relationship seems a little bit off, first of all, follow your intuition and your gut if that's what it's telling you. But some red flags to look out for if you are unsure if your man's on the down low, if they are very aggressive and abusive towards you as a woman, but they're very soft and sweet towards their friends. I'm talking about aggression in the sense that yes, they are abusive, you know, they talk down to and stuff like that. Granted, there are some some straight men that are abusive, but men that are on the down low, because they are uncomfortable with their own sexuality, they tend to take out their anger on you. So if you're looking at traits like that, that is one red flag to look out towards. When it comes to your sexual life with that man now, if he's very aggressive and rough with you when it comes to being in the bed, and he wants to do certain things like I mentioned about rimming, playing with toys, and again, his reactions when he's asking you to do them and things like that. And sometimes we will ask you, are you gay? Are you fruity? Is that what you into? To pay attention to how aggressive he may get when you're asking questions like that, or his demeanor if you do end up performing those things on him, because that is another red flag if that's how he's acting towards you when you're in the bedroom. Narcissism, another red flag to be looking at when it comes to your man and if he's on the down low or not. Piggybacking off of a close male friend, in terms of having very close friends over, especially when you're not in the room and it's just him and the one male friend around each other 24/7, some men that are on the download do slip up sometimes and do get a little bit touchy with a male friend every now and then. So pay attention, keep your eyes open.
A red flag is a motherfucking red flag, okay, bitch? It's not pink, it's not orange, it's not yellow.
I've seen it in a few other videos. A lot of times as women, we ignore red flags even in heterosexual relationships. It's not just if your man's on a down low. A lot of times we ignore these red flags that we do see, and we're like, oh, maybe it's a yellow flag. No, girl, eventually yellow turns red. So pay attention to the small stuff and protect yourself and guard your heart. A lot of times we don't want to break up our families, or I've seen even women say that they want to keep their families, and when they find out about their husband's sexuality, or vice versa, because not just subject to men, there are some women that are on the down low as well. Sometimes when the women do find out they want to keep their marriage, they let their husband still step out in the marriage and do his own thing and stuff like that. But I've also seen a story time where the girl's talking about she let her man do that. Then all of a sudden when she got pregnant, they ended up trying to take the baby from her and trying to take custody of the child because they're in a relationship now. So guys, please be mindful. Guard your hearts. Child, find something safe to do.
Man, I knew it, y'all. So it came out that the reason why this man unalived his mother, the mother of his child, and his cousin is because he was DL. And it came out and for somebody found out. I think at one point maybe the baby mama found out and the information just kind of spread it. But according to what they're saying, he was actually on his way to unalive someone else. Now, this all happened within the time frame of 9 hours, y'all. He was on his way to unalive another person after he unalived 3 women. He was on his way to unalive someone else when he got into a standoff with law enforcement and ended up being unalived because he was on a rampage. This is sad, y'all. This is sad. Be your true self. Be your true self. Why would you unalive people? Because you're afraid to be who you are. And when people find out what you're doing, you unalive them. According to what happened, y'all, this man, according to what I looked into, it has been confirmed that this man was DL. It's just so sad. Rest in peace to his mother, his cousin, and the mother of his child.
There was also a story about a woman named Alicia Lofton, and I'll try to find some clips to insert for you guys following this message. But with Alicia Lofton, she found out that her man was sneaking around behind her back with another man. So when she tried to confront him and tried to get a divorce from him, the man unalived her. So some men that are on the down low, I understand for some women, you're probably scared to either confront or leave because you're scared that he's going to harm you in some way, shape, or form. So, and then another thing to know when it comes to his masculinity and him being dominant, and I'm not talking about a man leading the household, because you can still be a man and not be aggressive and rough with a female. When it comes to his masculinity, a lot of men that are on the down low kind of question it, so they feel the need to overcompensate for wherever they lack. So they'll probably come to you like, yeah bro, where the girls at, or where the hoes at, and all that type of stuff. Or he'll always feel the need to be assertive in your life in a very rough manner. So again, pay attention to little things like that, because when it comes to a real man is not going to feel the need to constantly have to remind you that he is a man. We can see that you are one. If he's overly passionate about women topics or constantly talking crap about women, so I'm talking about how they look, how they carry themselves, how they dress, if he always feels the need to insert himself in conversations like that, which I don't understand, because if you're a male, why are you so obsessed with a women's topic or how women dress or how they carry themselves, how they look and things like that? It's because guess what? You have what he wants. You can be with a man comfortably. You can be feminine comfortably. And he cannot do that. So that's why he feels the need to constantly insert himself into conversations that do not involve him, or that most men would not feel the need or the desire to be a part of. Because again, Be careful, ladies. Another way to note that maybe he might be on the DL is if, let's say, you have a male friend that might be gay come around you guys and he constantly feels the need to talk about how he's uncomfortable, he doesn't want to be around him, and blah, blah, blah. You might feel uncomfortable because that person's living in their authentic self, and you, on the other hand, cannot live like that. So it's throwing you off, it's making you uncomfortable, but you actually like it. You actually like him, and that's why you feel that way. Because a lot of men that are comfortable in their masculinity, and even if they do not agree with the lifestyle or not, because so first and foremost, I mentioned in like a couple other videos, my background is Jamaican, so I have very old school parents, and in the sense of how I was raised and their beliefs and their thoughts and things like that. But that doesn't mean my parents hate people that like the same gender. Do they have their opinions about it? Of course they do. What like everybody else does, everyone's entitled to it. But are they gonna sit there and run you off or push you away from their stuff? They're not gonna do stuff like that because they're comfortable with their sexuality. They just don't care. Just don't bring it around them. It's that simple. Versus men that are kind of into it, it's them that get overly aggressive and frustrated around people like that. Just saying. Again, it doesn't matter if it's 2024 or not. People are still struggling with their sexuality and their thoughts, which is why I mentioned before, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Y'all gotta figure out what it is you want to do. It's left or right, God's side or the other side. Like, y'all gotta figure out what it is you want to do in this day and age. And you need to be very, very safe and very mindful about who you let around you. And that's why I talk about, again, being soul ties, because a lot of these women don't want to leave because they feel an attachment to that person. You're gonna hurt yourself in the long run. And even for the women that try to stay to make it work for your kids' sake, you're not happy anyway. So it's just not a healthy environment for anybody. And now you have kids involved or maybe other family members involved. And sometimes I understand for women, you want to protect the man's situation. We see a lot of these things with celebrities now and in the news with gossip and whatnot. And honestly, guys, you gotta be very mindful of stuff like that. We see a lot of women being put in situations where, you know, you want to talk to my male friend, but I'm just here as a little prize, a little trophy, so that people don't actually know what it is that you are into. And you know, we're not retarded. We can kind of see through everything anyways. If that's what you are, if that's what you want to do that. Don't bring other people into that to hurt them and possibly harm them and things like that. Guys, please be safe out there. Please be safe out there.
That man again?
What you mean? I already been with 3 other dudes while we was together. You know what it is.
No, I'm tired of sharing. I don't want to share no more.
What you mean sharing? You ain't sharing.
Yes,
you
I am sharing.
I'm here. I pay all the bills. I pay all the rent.
I don't care about none of that. I don't care about none of that. I don't want to share you no more, and I'm tired of you leaving me.
You been sharing me.
I'm tired of that. Get that. I don't want to keep sharing you. We had vows together. You married me. We not doing this no more. You need to be faithful to me and only me.
Okay,
you say you love me, right?
You can either leave
you say you love me, right?
I love you, but you can either leave or you can join a relationship with us. I don't care. You ain't got nowhere to go.
I don't want to be in a relationship with you and him.
Well, if you love me, why not? If you love me, you're going to do whatever I want you to do. That's
you
love.
You want me to do whatever you want to say? No, that ain't love.
You gonna accept me and him being together, or you just gonna go out there and get it on your own? You ain't got nowhere to go. You ain't got no family. You ain't got nobody in
You
California.
always trying to hold stuff over my head. But you out here wanting to go out here with stuff that's cheating. You want to cheat on me all the time. Hit this man, that man.
You already knew what it was. You already knew what it was.
I don't know what it is. You made a vow to me. That's what I know.
It don't matter. You already knew what it was. You already knew what it was. With 3 men while we together, and you gave me a pass on that.
I gave you a pass back then. Yes, I'm tired now. I'm tired now. How many men is it gonna be?
It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
We're going to be together.
I can't go do the same thing.
You either go stick with me. You either go stick with me to the day.
Go do the same thing. You want to have your cake and eat
him, or you can leave.
You didn't get all this by yourself. You ain't did all this by yourself.
You can join me and him, or you can leave. You can.
I'm not going. Because it ain't love if you trying to leave me every time I look up because you want to go hang.
Man, you know what it is. I already been with 3 other men. It's not like it's not like it's behind your back. You're aware of it.
And I said I don't want to do that no more. I don't want to do it anymore.
But you're still here, but you don't want to leave. I don't get that. You're aware of it, but you don't want to even leave. Why don't you want to leave? You love me though, right?
Because I do love you. And we made vows to each other. We've been married for 10 years now.
You already know what it was. I'm going to go be with him. I can go do whatever I want to do.
No, we're not doing that.
If I already been, I need to leave. You can either leave or be with me and him. It's that simple. I'm giving you choices. I'm giving you opportunities.
This is not what you told me about when we got married. You didn't ask me that I want to be together.
I keep you in Chanel. I keep you in Louis. Look at the house. Your car's. I keep you in a nice car. I keep your hair done for you. I keep your nails done. You got a nice ring on your finger. What are you not happy about?
I'm not happy with you. Be mad because I'm not trying to share you.
You don't act like it. You don't act like it.
You want me to be in a happy family with somebody that I didn't do my vows with. I'm not doing that.
You gonna do it or you either gonna leave. You either gonna be with me and him or you gonna leave.
I saw a WhatsApp message of a man who sent some pictures to my husband, and I suspected my husband might be a gay. I kept it to myself for some days and later confronted my husband. And guess what? He did not deny it. He accepted that he is gay. And I was like, you are gay and you got married? Now, let me even pause here. How do you people date gays and marry them without knowing? Back to the story. So she said, okay, so you are gay and you like it. So why did you get married to me? And he said that he married her to cover up because the family was already on him, begging him to get married. So she said, okay, fine, that she cannot stay in a marriage with a gay. It's either he chooses her or chooses her gay partner. And her husband said that she can go if she wants to go. But this is the condition, that she will pretend that they are still married. She should just relocate to another country that he is going to pay and fund whatever, that they have one child together, and they should never make it public that they have divorced and their parents should never know about it. So she's asking, is it the right thing for her to do, or she should just tell the whole family and everybody that the marriage is not? Because what kind of manipulation is this?
I found out that my boyfriend of almost 2 years is gay, or perhaps bisexual. Story time. I've been dating this guy for 1 year and 7 months, and to be very honest, I never saw any traces or any signs. My boyfriend has a flatmate, although he is the owner of the house. So he told me that he invited his friend to come and start staying over with him because he's always bored whenever I am not around. Of course, I didn't have any problem with it. I even started being close to his flatmate. I even have his contact, and whenever my man is not acting right, I will text this guy to help me talk to my boyfriend, and he always helps. Everything was okay until some days back. I had been in the house for about a week now, and this day I decided to cook. Whenever I go to the market, my boyfriend is always following me, but this particular day, he said he wanted to stay back. He said he was tired and I should get a cab. Of course I obeyed, because why not? And he said when I get back, I should call him to come and open the gate for me because the gate is very heavy and it will be hard for me to push. So I went to the market, bought everything I need, and I came back home, but the gate was locked. I felt there was no need for me to disturb him since this guy told me that he was tired before I left the house. So I decided to push the gate myself. Meanwhile, it is a very big house with no neighbors. Everywhere was very quiet. I decided to drop the things that I bought in the kitchen and go upstairs to look for him and tell him that I am back. That was where I got the shock of my life. I got to the door and I heard moans. At first I thought it was a woman until I realized that it was him and his friend that were fucking. I decided to stay a few minutes to check if I was overthinking or if I was hallucinating, only to find out that I was actually seeing right. When I realized that I was actually seeing right, I ran downstairs, packed the things that I got from the kitchen, went back to the gate, locked it, and I called him that I was at the gate so he could come and open it, acting like I did not see anything or I had not been in the house. He took about 10 minutes before he came outside to open the gate for me. I pretended like nothing happened. Mind you, when I went upstairs, I did not open the door for them to see me or anything. I mean, I knew that if they saw me, things might go bad. What if they killed me to silence me? I prepared the food and I told him that I wanted to go home. Then he asked me why. I told him I have some urgent school issues to attend to, so I left. And you guys, our flat rate ad is coming. So if you are a vendor and you want to promote your brand or you want me to influence it, click the link in my bio right now or send me a DM on Instagram or here. It's been a week. I have not gone back. We're still talking. I am scared to tell anyone because I'm scared for my life.
I know a lot of people have been messaging me, asking me what's going on, why I'm moving out. And it's because I just found out that my husband and the man that I've been with since high school for 12 years, we have 2 kids together, and he just let me know that he's gay and that he's been gay and he's been trying to fake it, but he just can't anymore. I'm feeling so many things. I'm confused, I'm angry, I'm sad, but I'm also happy that I'm happy that he could finally live his life and that he doesn't have to hide himself anymore. But I don't know, I'm just feeling so many things. Anyways, I just want to thank everyone for their kind messages and words of like affirmation, just because it has really helped me get through. Because like I've been with him since I was in high school. And so it's just like a lot, especially with 2 kids and like having to move out your whole life. Like a whole life that you thought that you were gonna have, that it's gone now.
We left off where I was in the hospital and he let me use his laptop. And he was on a dating site, and that dating site said his username was Big Black M. I decided to log into the account. When I log into the account, like, he's like trying to like link up with people. Like, at this point, it's just girls. Like, he's trying to link up with girls, but they look crazy. Like, they look dusty. And mind you, I'm in a hospital bed while he's doing it. So at this time, I was like, you know what? I can't do this no more. Like, so shortly after, I broke up with him, and we broke up for about a year. And then I moved back to Mississippi, and I was in a whole nother relationship, which is that's Marcus number 2, honey. And he was a DL, but we gonna talk about him later. But I moved back for about a year. I come back, and one day we're sitting in my living room, and how my couches were set up, like there was a couch here, and then there was a couch here. So like I was sitting on the couch facing this way here, and then he was like laying the long way on the couch. So I could kind of see like what he's doing on his phone. And I happened to like look over, and I seen like a green text message, but it had like, I could see the emojis from a distance because 2020. So I seen the hearts, and I seen him delete so quick, y'all. Like he deleted that with the quickness. And like me, like I don't hold my tongue. So as soon as I seen it, I said, what's that? He like, nah, babe, nah. It was a spam, like, you know what I mean? Like, it was a spam. I was like, bet, I got you. So later on, like, he always fell asleep, y'all, like, always. So I end up going through his phone. I don't find nothing. I just got, like, a really icky feeling. Like, I'm like, there's just something not right. So after seeing that message, I decided to, like, really, like, dig into his phone. If there is a little folder on your iPhone that holds all the information of what websites that you visited and how frequent you visited it. So when I went on there, I seen that he was on some sites like Chat Your Bait or something like that. And I'm thinking like these are just like ads. Like I watch things too, so like, you know, like I be seeing the ads fake. But seeing what I saw last time about him messaging those fake pages or whatever, I decided to do my due diligence. So after going through, I should go through his block numbers. 80 numbers blocked, 80 of them. Up is Atlanta escorts.
So I peeped the trend where women are outing their boyfriends for being DL, and I just wanted to hop on it because of my baby father. I was dating my baby father about like 4 or 5 years ago, and he was the type of dude to always like hypersexualize women, always talk about women he was with, always stress me about him cheating on me with the next beard. Now looking back, I realized why he was overcompensating for something. But pretty much we moved around a lot. We went from city to city. We was everywhere, so we would have to leave because it was a little bit toxic. And somehow every city we went to, he would find the gay guy and be best friends with them. And like at the time, I didn't think nothing of it because he had me stressing about these other. The last thing I was worried about were these guys. But now looking back, it's a little bit suspicious. Like, I mean, we lived in Tampa, we lived in Jacksonville, we lived in Tallahassee, and he only had one friend each time we were there, and it was a gay guy. And like, my baby father wasn't very nice. He wasn't a friend of the gays. He wasn't a very tolerant person. Tallahassee, I went to jail for trespassing at FAMU. And the night after I got out of jail, he told me that we couldn't be friends with one of the guys that we have been friends with. He was like, oh, he tried me. Like, we can't go back over there. Da-da-da-da-da. But the guy had sent me, like, a weird cryptic message and then blocked me. So years later, I start kind of connecting the dots. And I'm like, yo, that's suspicious as hell. Like, that doesn't add up. So I start asking, like, gay people. I start asking lesbian women. Like, I just start asking people. And I'm like, yo, like, what does this sound like to you? Everybody thinks he's gay. So, yeah. I don't have real confirmation that he's gay, but
Y'all can tell me what you think.
Let me know what you thought about all these videos down below. I know some of these stories were actually crazy. I know for some of you guys it was actually relatable because I've seen a lot of people's stories similar to some of these. If you did like content like this, please don't forget to like so that I know. Leave a comment down below so I know to do more things like this for you guys. Again, I'll be consistent for the next 30 days, be it that I am doing a lot more story time. Little comps like this to give you guys some entertainment because like I said, I know there are some men on here and you guys don't really want to watch me do my makeup. Some girls want to watch me do my makeup. Some of you don't. So I'm going to switch it up a little bit and see what you guys do like on here. Again, if you do like this video, it does help the algorithm so that it can be sent out to more people and that they can enjoy this content as well. So I hope you guys have a happy, beautiful Wednesday. It's middle of the week. Remember, anything can change tomorrow. Keep being positive. Keep your head up because if you guys did not know, this channel is all about elevating, growing, and becoming somebody better. Have a blessed Wednesday. I'll see you tomorrow for another video. Bye.